Welcome back to Track 848. Today we're going to install a Ducati gear selector upgrade kit. But first, I'm going to show you how easy it is to fix a misaligned shift mechanism. I started this project off camera by removing the fairings and draining the oil and coolant. Now we can remove the shift rod, clutch slave, make sure you don't lose the O-ring, and the clutch push rod. Next up is the front sprocket cover, and you may or may not have one of these. It's a case saver, and I highly recommend one of these to protect your engine case if your chain breaks. There's 3 coolant hoses that need to be removed. I'm going to remove 2 now, and I'll show you the 3rd one in just a minute. Now we can go ahead and loosen up all of the bolts around the alternator side cover. There's 13 total. And a couple are hidden, as you can see here. These bolts are not all the same size, so be sure to keep track as you remove them. Disconnect the wiring connector from the main wiring loom and remove the last coolant hose. Now we can go ahead and remove the inspection cover. Take note of the O-ring. And we get to use our first special tool on this project. This is the alternator cover puller. Snug it down and then slowly turn in the handle. A little oil will drop out of the bottom, but that's okay. You can see how this tool works. And that's it. We have access to the left side of our engine. Stick a rag here to prevent any debris from falling through the hole into the crankcase. If your shift mechanism is locked up, loosen these 2 bolts and you should be able to push on it to free it up. It'll move like this once it's free. Clean the bolts, apply medium strength thread locker, realign the mechanism and torque it down to the specs outlined in the next segment of this video. If you want to install the upgrade kit, here's the service bulletin and kit part numbers. The flywheel has to be removed, so this becomes a little more involved at this point. This is the Ducati special tool that holds the flywheel in place while the nut is being removed or reinstalled. You're going to need a long breaker bar or an impact wrench capable of breaking this nut loose. Remove the nut and the Belleville washer. And at this point we can go ahead and remove the flywheel and the attached driven gear from the crankshaft. This is the roller cage assembly, and this is the thrust washer. Take note of this because I'm going to show you an important tip when we put everything back together. For now, just set it off to the side. We can now remove the shift mechanism from the engine by removing these 2 bolts. To get this out, push it forward, then up, and the shift mechanism will pull straight out of the engine case. Let's take this over to the bench where we can install the Ducati upgrade kit, which consists of 2 new bolts, a spring, a plate, and a C-clip. This really is an easy upgrade, but it takes longer to get in here than it does to actually do the upgrade. Take special note here, the replacement spring that comes in the kit has to go back on with the same exact orientation as the one we just removed. If you get this wrong, your shift mechanism will not work. This clip snaps back in place by hand. And now if you have some calipers handy, you can check to ensure the unit is within factory spec per the service bulletin. And you can see my measurements here. It looks good. This is still within spec, so let's go over and put it back on the bike. I'm using medium strength thread locker. Snug these down and then get the mechanism in place, then tighten the bolts so it doesn't move. This is where you want it, the notch centered on the top pin with the bike in neutral. Once it's there, torque down the bolts to these specs. It took quite a bit of work to get here, so it's a good idea to complete a shift test before putting the bike back together. It wouldn't be a very good day if you found out afterwards that it doesn't shift properly. Now it's time to have some fun. We have to do some cleaning. We have to go around the entire perimeter where the alternator cover rests on the case and remove all of the old liquid gasket. And we need to do the same thing for the cover. I like to pull off the big pieces by hand, and then I take a soft wire brush to clean the surface. Use a clean rag to wipe it down. This is important. Apply a few dabs of grease to hold the thrust washer in place. And we're ready to put everything back together. Make sure these notches on the crankshaft are lined up with the notch here on the flywheel. It slips straight on. Use a small mirror to ensure the thrust washer did not slip down out of place. The Belleville washer is tapered, so make sure you get it on right. Apply some red, high-strength thread locker and then tighten the nut down to 330 Newton meters. Apply a continuous bead of liquid gasket to the cover mating surfaces. Make sure this shaft on the water pump is lined up properly with this. Do a dry run before you apply the liquid gasket. And here's another tip. Use 2 M6x1 threaded rods to help guide the cover back on. It makes the refitting process much easier. Now we can button back up, basically reverse order from the way we took everything off. Make sure you get all of the wires and connectors on the right side of the coolant hoses. Tighten the hoses down and use thread locker on these boats and the remaining boats. Apply some grease on this O-ring, as well as the clutch push rod O-rings. Walk the clutch slave bolts in, then torque down using a 1-2-3-1 pattern. Don't forget to add oil and coolant, and that's it. We're finished. I have more videos over at my YouTube channel, Track848, and if you'd like to receive a notification when I upload new videos, go ahead and click on the subscribe button at the top of this page. Leave your comments below, and if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate the feedback. Thanks again. I'll see you the next time. Goodbye.